live in 3, 2, 1. My hair's ready. Okay, so here we go. Happy Halloween, happy October, everybody. We're gonna get started on chapter 2. So last time we did part 2 of chapter 2 because it had a lot of good information that I just wanted to hurry up and get out. So now we're gonna do the first part of chapter 1. So we're doing it backwards, but that's okay. And then next week we're gonna do chapter 3. My goal is to start doing these each chapter a week to stop lagging, stop procrastinating. That was one of my messages I got from my guides, was that I am for sure procrastinating. I see that, I know that, and I'm gonna work on that. So no more procrastinating once a week. I need to find time. I need to put into the energy that I want into here. This is what's happening. Sorry, sidetracked already. All right. So, chapter 2, okay, this is on my bed. I need to stop touching it because it's making it move. Chapter 2 is about energy. So, what he says is energy, to explain in a simple matter, can be understood as activity, functioning. The classic definition from physics states that energy is the capacity of a system to do work. In general terms, we can think of energy as the fuel that makes all systems run and active. And a couple of different words for this energy in different, all over the world, like akasha, animal magnetism, astral light, bioplasm energy, cosmic fluid, chi or ki, kundalini, libido, nous, prana, tau, third force, vital energy, vital fluid. And there's a couple more. I just skipped them. There's 25 he has listed. So, types of bioenergy. Bioenergy can be classified or divided into two very broad categories. Oh my gosh, my stutters. Why? Immanent energy, i.e., and consciental energy, CE. So, immanent energy, i.e., is energy that is inherent in nature, okay, including earth, air, sun, water, and others. Consciental energy, CE, is information that has information and has therefore is energy that has information and has therefore already been processed by the consciousness. So we're going to go into exactly what consciental energy is. Individual consciousnesses transform immanent energy into consciental energy by adding information to it, okay? So, every consciousness has consciental energy. So, this is where he's explaining, he gives some examples of what consciental energy is. Okay, so have you ever had an intuition? We can be at work in the middle of the afternoon. All of a sudden, we start thinking about the relative. At that moment, the phone rings and the relative's calling you. We've all, dealt with this. You constantly are thinking about somebody. And guess what? They're thinking about you. You know, if they keep popping up, they're thinking about you. This recently happened to me. Some random person who I haven't thought about in years kept popping up, even randomly little seconds in dreams. And then what happened? They message me, right? So it happens to everybody. And even on a day-to-day basis, if like it says you're thinking about your mom and then all of a sudden your mom texts you or call you, or you're thinking about your friend and then they message you on Instagram or Snapchat, right? But you haven't heard from them in a while. So that's one. This is another good example. Two employees are arguing in an office. But later on, so that they stop arguing, they leave the office. Then another person who wasn't involved, didn't know about the argument at all, walks into the office and was like, whoa, if the energy feels weird in here, does anybody else feel that? That's consciental energy too. This is another one, good one. So let's say you get your new hairdo, right? A girl gets her hairdo and she goes to her friend and her friend's like, oh my God, I love it. It looks so good. But deep down the girl's like, I don't think she likes my hairdo. So that is all consciental energy. It's not being spoken. It's you feel it. You feel it in your body and you know, right? In your mind, your body. That's consciential energy. So a sensation, an impression, or something. Sensation or impression, okay? And then he just gives more, what's the word? More lists of explaining it, right? Okay, so now here we go on to a theosane or theosine. I don't know how to say it properly. Say it however you want. It means the same thing. So theosine is spelled, I'm going to see if I can show it to you guys pretty good, okay? So theosine is Thosene. Tho is thoughts. The S is sentiments and emotions, and the E is energy. So it can get kind of a little bit confusing later on. Don't worry about this. It's energy. That's what we're talking about. We got it. We're talking about energy. So thoughts, thoughts, and then sentiments and emotions. And then that creates the energy, right? So that's what we're talking about here. It's called a theosine. I'll probably switch back and forth between how I say it. Who knows? All right. So the THO, as I showed you, comes from thoughts or ideas. The S comes from sentiments or emotions, and ENE is from energy. Consciential energies are manifested in theosines. It is observed that we cannot produce a pure emotion without having a thought associated with it and without using energies for its production. So, producing a pure emotion. So yeah, you can't, I guess, produce just happiness or sadness or angry or any type of emotion without having some type of thoughts going along with it or ideas with it. Consciousness are producing energetic information, CEs, or theosines all the time. This is a non-stop, continuous process. Technically speaking, we can describe this process as a psychic being able to feel the theosines or another person and to decode them. The capacity of the person to feel the energy will determine the level of detail and specificity perceived. So the capacity, not where everybody's different. We all have different capacities for everything. And that's how they call them psychics, because psychics have a stronger capacity to feel those things than other people. And that's why I'm saying if you have a stronger capacity, then that's when you're able to get more details from something and more specifics from something or a place or energy or person more than another person would if you're psychic, right? But no matter what, even if you're not psychic, we all feel these things, just like in those examples. No matter what, you're all going to feel it. But like how it is in life, other people can feel it more. Other people can glean more from it. Oh, my nose. Here we go already. Sorry. Okay. Example 1. When our mother thinks about us, she emits a theosine, thoughts, sentiments, and emotions. If at that moment we are more sensitive, we will be able to decode the theosine, and when we will realize what our mother actually wants. Most individuals are unable to feel this level of detail, and many times we just feel the other person thinking about us without knowing the actual intention or reason that they are thinking about us. Yet outside this mechanism is extremely clear. For example, mother and daughter, it is easier to connect than when the two individuals involved have a greater affinity or closeness, for example, mother and daughter, then it is easier for one to energetically access the other and easier for the receptor to feel the incoming theosine. Affinity among individuals increases all energetic examples. So obviously I'm going to feel more energetic connections with like my sisters or my fiance or my mom compared to just like somebody who I barely talk to, you know. And if they're like thinking about me, like I might get it. Like I said, like that one person was thinking about me, so I'm guessing. So I started thinking about it and I started feeling it. But that's when it goes also into saying, like, all of a sudden, if you start thinking about your mom and you're like, what's going on? And then she calls you, right? So, but again, some other people are able to, like, hey, she wants me to do this, or I have a feeling she wants me to do this, or be here, or do that. So that's Theoscenes too. And it says, like, the closer you are with that person. And then, of course, the more psychic, the capacity, you'll be able to glean more information. But no matter what, we're still getting information. All right. So, okay. So I want to show you this too. For example, a pattern of energies can be manifested in the following fashions. So I'm going to try to bring this close up again. Okay, so there. These are all Theoscenes. They're all thoughts, sentiments, and emotions. But the first one focuses more on the thought. The second one focuses more on the sentiments and emotions. And the second one's pure energy. So they're all Theoscenes, but they're still different because they're focusing on something different. So we're going to go into that right now. In the first case, the Theoscene manifested the large THO one. I should have had that little clipboard thing to write it out. So the large THO, or we're focusing on thoughts, the thought element. This implies an intellectual, more mental manifestation. An example of this is when we pick up a textbook or a science or philosophy. As we read it, we are manifesting energy, many Theoscenes. Yet, because of the nature of the specific activity, the energy is not primarily emotional. It's not emotional. The intellectual aspect of the manifestation is enhanced compared to the other two elements. So again, the intellectual aspect of the manifestation of reading that is more enhanced compared to sentiments and the energy. Okay? So as the graphical representation shows, the THO is enlarged. Element is emphasized when the S and the E and E elements are not. Basically saying thoughts are emphasized, sentiments and emotions are not, energy is not. In the second case, where it's the emotional aspect that carries more weight, this occurs, for example, when we decide to watch a soap opera or read a romance novel. In these cases, the drama is clear, meaning there is nothing too complex to understand. It's not too heavy intellectual endeavor. It's not something you really have to think about or like study. The thought aspect is thus diminished, the thinking. However, since we are emotionally involved in the story, we are manifesting a Theoscene with greater emphasis on S, the emotional aspect. So you're watching your novellas, you're reading your love books, watching your TV, watching your show, your special, and you don't really have to think. You don't have to it's not intellectual, you're just on the edge of your seat in your heart emotions, right? Getting excited. Okay, in the third case, energy is the element emphasized. This occurs when, for example, the person is jogging, swimming, or doing anything when they are expanding a lot of energy. Notice that this person might be manifesting patterns with a lot of energy, and the other two aspects are both diminished. Or it can be the case that the two elements of the Theoscenes are emphasized while the other is not. As an example of this would be being worried about something, a sentiment, while we jog. So, hold on, I'm putting on my ring really quick, y'all, I forgot. I do my massages and then I take off my ring. I need to put that on, that's not good. Okay, so right now I'm doing this, but my thoughts were on an emotion, right? On an emotion. So yes, I'm trying to think and have my mind into it, but still I have some type of emotion. I'm like, oh, go put your ring on, right? Okay. Anyways, so the E could be if you're just jogging, then yes, it's just energy. But at the same time, if you're having a bad day, had a fight with somebody, okay, so you're jogging, but yes, you are using the energy, the sentiments too, because you're thinking about that while you're jogging. But if you're just out there working out to work out to clear your mind, then that's just pure energy. All right, so yeah, that explains those ones. So now we're going to move on to holotheoscenes. Holotheoscenes. In practice, once we start leaving the body, the concept of energetic information, those scenes, will become increasingly clear. People manifest those scenes all the time. The consciousness manifested those scenes before this physical life, during the previous one, and in the one before that, and so on. If all those scenes were averaged out, they would yield what is called a holotheoscene. So, I explained it pretty much clear. We have our holotheoscenes in, theoscenes in this life, and like you said, in our life before this one, the life before that one, and all the lives that we've had for however long we've been alive, eternity, 100,000, who knows, right? So we're averaging those out, and those are still in you. They're not all the way attached in you, but you don't remember them, but you're still carrying them. You're always carrying them. And that's what's called a holotheoscene, okay? A holotheoscene is the collection of the theoscenes of energetic information associated with something specific, okay? Other writers have come close to the idea of holotheoscene. Jung's idea of the collective unconscious and Robert Monroe's concept of the M-band noise and rote are examples of this. Keep in mind that it is important to discuss holotheoscenes because they have an influence on the flexibility of our inner soma and therefore our projective ability. Let us first discuss the holotheoscenes found in places. Okay. They affect our inner soma. Inner soma is, I forget all these different names. Inner soma is, I believe, your aura. Basically your aura. The energy that comes out about an inch above your body. So your aura. That's inner soma. Hopefully I'm not wrong. If it is, I will correct myself. Okay. Places have theoscenes. Houses, buildings, rooms, cities. Even though these constructions do not produce theoscenes of their own, a house has a theoscene from the family that lives there. It manifests on an average of their energetic information. If this family in which the members get along, laugh with each other, try to help each other, then the holotheoscene reflects this and is more positive. Let us consider an example if it is negative and extreme, but this will make the idea clear. What are the most common intentions, thoughts, sentiments, and ideas found in a prison? If the holotheoscene of a prison is a product of the prisoner's theoscenes, their thoughts, sentiments, and energy, what are these theoscenes? Certainly many answers come to mind, such as revenge, loneliness, aggressiveness, and despair. Now, all of these theoscenes accumulate in that place and stay there. Even if all the prisoners are taken out, the holotheoscene is still felt, meaning holotheoscenes tend to linger. So, this type of effect or consequence received from the holotheoscene is called holotheoscenic pressure or influence. And then he talks about some people even go to experience this, and it's true. He talks about people going to Alcatraz. People go there at nighttime to go to be like kind of scared or ghost hunting because you can feel that energy. Even though the prisoners are long gone, like he says, they left that imprint, that energy that will be there for a very long time to come from all these hundreds of men's thoughts and energies and emotions just sinking into that place. And that's why people pay to go to feel that. And then he says, so sometimes people go in there and then they leave drained because it can drain, that kind of negativity energy can drain on your energy. So there are cases of individuals who even enter the cells of inmates to feel how the prisoner felt. This leads to being contaminated or intruded with the theoscenes that were left. The inner soma becomes polluted with this unhealthy energy, and this will affect the person. If the soma of the person becomes too polluted, the person may develop energetic problems, decompensations, or blockages, which will have repercussions on the health and the physical body and the person's projective and psychic performance. So it's true. The negative theoscenes, places like that, even some people can drain you a little bit and give you negative energy. But that's where I went over in chapter 2, part 1, how to clear, and this is why this was done first and the other one second. So the video before this goes and actually explains how to clear your inner soma, to meditate properly, and to get those blockages out daily. You want to be doing that stuff daily to clear yourself daily. Because if you're not clear, then later on the whole point of this is trying to OBE. Then it's going to be much harder for you to OBE if your inner soma is contaminated. All right, let's see where we at. Basically, every physical place has a characteristic holotheocene. What is the holotheocene of traffic? What is the holotheocene of a specific city? What is it of a friend's house, my office, my job, a country, an activity? So just go and like see. Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they okay? Are they weird? Are they scary? What is the holotheocene of ancient ruins? What's the holotheocene of the house, apartment I'm moving into? All right. The next one is objects. Objects have holotheocenes of their own too. Objects have the most varied kind of holotheocenes. They develop the holotheocene from their intended use. A pen will have a different holotheocene than a vacuum cleaner. Also, a red pen that is used only to correct students' tests will have a different holotheocene than a luxury pen used only to write love letters. So do you see how the red pen only to correct tests, negative connotation, right, is going to be felt differently than like a luxury pen that somebody really cares. Maybe they got it as a gift and they use it for love letters or writing to people that they love. You can see the different energy that one's going to have from the other. One's going to not have that good of an energy, maybe a little bit negative kind of energy, and the other one's going to have a good, positive, loving energy, right? Okay. And then he gives, God, what is the word? I'm going to explain it. I'm sorry. I'm tripping right now. Okay. So there's a couple, they have a baby, right? Their friend gives them a gift. It doesn't matter what the gift is. They give them a gift. We'll not say that she had bad intentions. Maybe she did, but the object had kind of negative energy, negative holotheocene, right? So she gives it to them. They're like, oh, thank you. They take the object, the gift, they put it in their house, right? So will people see like this huge dramatic thing? Maybe if you're more psychic, maybe you might. But normal people, so the example, that's the word that he gives, is like maybe the dad starts having headaches. Maybe the mom starts getting a little bit more agitated. The baby is like constantly crying, and they're like, what's going on with the baby? Because children are more sensitive. So it's nothing crazy that you would notice, like, whoa, what's like going on? But it's like enough to disrupt the family. It's disrupting the holotheocene of the family and the house that was positive. But the good thing is, like I said, if you work on your energies, then yes, it's going to help. And yes, it'll get rid of it. But let's say they don't even know about energy, working on energy to get rid of it. And they don't know that this object that they just got it as a gift was negative. So even though they brought it into the house and it starts bringing down the house energy and their energy a little bit, eventually the gift is going to start absorbing the energy of the house and the family that it's in. So hopefully the family and the house holotheocene that it's in is a loving, positive energy. So eventually it will drain all that negative energy, and it's going to be just pumping that positive energy from the family and the house. And eventually it's going to balance out, like negate out. So that's the good thing. All right, and people. The most complex interactions and influences are by far the ones among individuals. Example, that's the word I keep forgetting. Okay, so here's another example. It's grandma's birthday. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody's laughing, right? Everybody's having a nice time, talking, blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden, one of your cousins walks in. But everybody don't really like this cousin. They're kind of negative. They're always depressed. They're always got some bad story to say. Oh, I got a ticket. Oh, this. Oh, that. Oh, my gosh, I'm so upset because of this, right? So as soon as this person walks in the door, everybody's kind of like rolling their eyes. They're like, oh my God, motherfucker, go on, right? Okay. So, the energy from the party that was like doing good, right? As soon as he comes down, everybody's like, oh, everybody gets quiet. Everybody's like, oh, they don't really want to talk to him. And the energy just comes down. Just from that one person, their energy brings that whole energy of the party that was up and happy down, right? So that's a Thylacine of a person. So he asked the question, which I just gave you the answer to, which holothylacine is going to predominate in a group of people who depends, and it says of people depends on who has the strongest holothylacine. Okay. Certain people take and drain energy. So that's what it is. Let's see. All right. So we did places, people, things, and now we're doing work energy. All of a sudden, we find ourselves. Oh wait, I skipped a lot of stuff. I think I did. Okay, what happened? Sorry guys, I guess I must have skipped this page. I usually take notes. Okay, I can kind of remember it. Okay, so you start a new job, right? And you have your own thoughts and beliefs before you start this job. Let's say you go to this job, and it's not the best working environment. I think we've all been in those type of places. And if you don't have a super strong holothylacine, and maybe even if you do, you start, what does it say? You start carrying that energy. Like we said, you're that object that goes in there and you're starting to carry that energy a little bit, right? So it says, for example, we're now making and laughing jokes that we did not used to find humorous. We have assimilated expressions, phrases, and attitudes that are common to that job. We are now one of them. So that's basically what it's saying. For certain jobs, hopefully it's a good one and you'll absorb those good energies and positive attributes. But sometimes there's negative places and we absorb those energies, and it just happens little by little. But still, another way to combat this is to work on your energy every day. Clear your energy, clear your blocks every day, so that you're able to keep in touch with yourself and, you know this is right, no, this is right. They're not supposed to be right or wrong, but like keep your internal compass clear. Okay. So let's see. The inner soma, also many times called the holo chakra, is made up of all the chakras and their energies. Okay. Oh, also, let me see this. I skipped this. I think this is a good thing to talk about too. Ask yourself, what is my holothylacine? What effects does my holothylacine have on others? Just think about it. Are you a happy-go-lucky type of person and you feel like you bring that around people? Or, I mean, are you like maybe kind of a downer sometimes and you bring that around people? And that's okay. Like, we're all both, and with different people, we can be different things. But it's just always a reminder to work on yourself and try to clear yourself and clear your energy. But just try. Like, take a look at it. See what the answers that you get. So, here we go. Like I said, inner soma. Chakras look like a vortex. Oh, should I tell you the story, or will it take forever? I was meditating a year ago, 2 years ago, when I first started getting into all this. And, of course, I had heard of chakras, right? I knew there were colors. I knew they were here. I was meditating, and all of a sudden, I start to feel this little spinny thing, right? Like, what? And I swear, it feels like a little vortex, a little tornado spinning. I felt my solar plexus chakra. Crazy, right? Amazing. Okay. A chakra is a vortex of energy, a center for processing energies in the inner soma. The chakras are doorways of absorption and exteriorization sending of energy. When discussing chakras, most philosophies study the 7 main chakras. However, the latest consensus and estimates indicate that we have about 88,000 chakras throughout the body. To give a rough approximation of this, we can think that we have a chakra in each pore of the skin. And so I think that each, so yes, these are our main ones, and those ones you can feel the big vortex, but do think of each tiny pore on your skin as a chakra. And later on in the exteriorization and the interiorization, obviously exteriorization, when you're imagining the energy come out of you, imagine it coming out of every single pore of your body, up and out. And when it's coming in, interiorization, you are sucking in that energy, not just through here, through every single pore of your body, every holo chakra, or every chakra. Okay. All right, and he goes on to explain them in order. So the first one that he says, sexo chakra, is called the root or basic chakra, is located between the legs on the surface of the inner soma, and it faces slightly backwards. It's called the root or basic chakra because it feeds the rest of your inner soma. And there's a little, goes through all of them. All right. Umbilical chakra, the solar plexus chakra, which is the one that I felt, processes energies for more instinctive and organic, related to the body activities. Spleno chakra. Spleno, where are you at? On the side. One side. Which side? I don't know. Selects and distributes vitalizing energy through the organs of the body. It's a vitalizing activity, can help individuals leave the body. It has a strong connection to the entire inner soma. Cardio chakra, the heart. It deals with affective processes of consciousness, such as emotions and romanticism. Throat chakra, larynx chakra, acts in communicability and consciousness. Singers, for example, normally have this chakra more developed. This chakra is very sensitive to holotheosanic pressure. So I guess what he's saying is it's more sensitive. So if you're in like a more negative energy, I guess you would feel that more in your throat, or it'd be harder for you to talk, or you'd feel some type of sensation. Frontal chakra, third eye chakra, located in the center of the forehead, also called the third eye, is strongly related to the capacities of clairvoyance and concentration. Crownal chakra, this one I always have blocks in, this one. And the way you can tell if you have blocks, when you're working on your energies, clearing your energies, if you don't feel a sensation, now in the beginning, it might take a little while to get used to what does it feel like when your energies are going up. But once you've gotten used to, you know what that feels like. If there's a certain energy where you're like, I'm just not feeling anything, that is a sign that you have a block, and it's fine. Just work on it. Pretend that it's water pushing pressure through there as area, and just do not stop. Keep pushing, and eventually it's gonna open up slowly. And then just keep working on your energy up and down, and then just put more attention to wherever you're blocked. All right, where were we? Solar chakras. The chakras are located in the soles of the feet. They absorb geoenergy from the ground, which is why it's always good to be barefoot, which is why I love being barefoot, especially go in the grass, go in the forest, go on the beach, go sand, somewhere, take off your shoes, absorb the energy of earth, of Gaia. She loves you. She wants to give it to you, okay? Palm chakras. Located in the palms, the energy they absorb runs through the arms and accumulates in the cardio chakra. Therefore, they are related to sensibility as well. Nuchal chakra. The chakra lies at the back of the neck. It is associated with mediumship and the capacity to perceive energies. And that's why we always say you got this feeling at the back of your neck. It feels like somebody's blowing at the back of your neck. You got the hairs on the back of your neck are standing up. That's all has to do with the nuchal chakra, and you're feeling that. Okay. And then this is the last part, and then we're done with chapter 2, and we will move on to chapter 3 next week. All right. Auric coupling and sympathetic assimilation. Energy is always exchanged between individuals when they enter into contact with one another, even through a simple look. However, when two individuals focus their energy on each other more, they can establish a condition called auric coupling. The auras or psychospheres of both individuals fuse together. And he has a picture, and I'm going to show you guys, okay? So this is an example of aura coupling. His energy going out to her energy going out to them. And obviously, the more connected you are with this person, and that's the whole point, is if you're in a room with somebody, sitting next to them, you're going to automatically feel their energy. But do you see how they're facing each other? Their feet are towards each other. Their faces are towards each other. They're looking at each other. So if I'm just in a waiting room, right, and they're sitting next to here, but we're not facing each other, we're still going to feel each other's energies a little bit. But if we're somewhere, I'm with somebody, and I'm here and they're there, and we're here and we're both talking to each other face to face like this, our energies are moving towards each other, and we're going to get closer and closer. And obviously, if you're doing this multiple times a day, that's how you're getting closer to somebody. Your loved ones, people you live with, roommates, best friends. If you're spending more time with each other, obviously talking, getting to know each other, right? But at the same time, it's this energy flow going back and forth between you guys. So sympathetic assimilation is a condition reached when the amount of energetic information being exchanged between two people is increased. It is an intensification of auric coupling. For example, a child may be away at school. The moment that something happens to the child, the mother at home feels it immediately. Or also with twins. If something happens to the other twin, the other one feels it. And the reason why is because they've spent pretty much their whole lives together, talking with each other, getting close to each other, loving each other, you know? Okay. And then we go on to the basic mobilization of energies: absorption, exteriorization, and the velo. I already did that. That was in chapter 2, part 1, OBE. So if you want to hear the rest of the chapter and learn how to cleanse your energy, the meditation every day, clearing yourself to get you into theta state. God, this is why I'm like sniffing all the time. My nose is always so runny. That's in chapter 2, part 1. And then, like I said, next week will be chapter 2. Okay? All right. If you guys have any questions, please write it down. Message me. My Instagram is same redheaded _ Alice _ in _ the _ Wonderland _ Martinez. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, want to know if you want me to expand on something, if I kind of glossed over it, didn't make some sense, let me know. And yeah, love you guys. See you guys later. Bye.